Look at you, I got you again. You're again here for drama. Shame on you. And welcome back to this new video. I'm Lennon. John Lennon. Today we are going to talk of metal drama. So, my dear friends, months ago I talked about the Cradle of Filth drama, where two ex-members of Cradle of Filth lawsuit Dani Filth because he didn't pay them enough, they didn't like the contract, and so on. Months later, we had a Dogma drama, where a supposedly all-female metal band with strong feminism lyrics and imagery were nothing else than a bunch of session musicians managed by a greedy manager, a male manager, who had the rights on the name and paid them just $100 per day. That must be one of the best stories of 2025. But now, my dear friends, before the end finish, we had some new drama. And since we all love drama, we are gonna talk about this drama. First of all, we're gonna talk again about Cradle of Filth, because not only two members lawsuit Dani Filth, but now there's 6 ex-members that want some juicy money from Dani Filth and his company. Cradle of Filth has been having a rough go on things in the public eye. It all started when keyboards and vocalist Zoe Mary Fedorov quit mid-tour on August 24 with her husband and Cradle of Filth guitarist Marek Ashok Smerda. And guys, I wish you know what Smerda means in Italian, because every time I read Smerda, it's hard to be serious, and I don't find the right words to translate it in English, you know. Following shortly thereafter, following their exit, Fedorov and Smerda took to social media with allegation of inequity pay, a threatening work environment, and unfair contract they said they refused to sign. Dani Filth responded in late August with accusation of his own, claiming alcohol misuse by the couple and sharing messages involving deaths for far. You know what, I'm happy in my band? That not only nobody does, illegal substances, but nobody drinks. It's so nice being in a band like this. Anyways, by September, both sides issued statements suggesting a de-escalation of their dispute, but tensions continue to simmer beneath the surface. On November 26, a new escalation surfaced when reports circulated that several former Cradle of Filth members had united to file a lawsuit against Dani Filth, the band's affiliated business and titles, and the Oracle management. Filed in Arizona on September 30, 2025, and amended on November 20th, the suit's plaintiffs include Fedorov, Smerda, longtime guitarist Paul Allender. Paul fucking Allender! That's a name that I didn't heard for a long time. If I'm correct, he played the guitar in Cradle for 4 years in the 90s, and then for 14 years. From 2000 to 2014, that's a lot. Dude, 14 years, that's a lot of times. That's a name that I didn't hear for a long time. Paul Allender. He was great. Former keyboardist and vocalist Lindsay Matheson, former guitarist Richard Shaw, which is one of the last guitarists, and Sasha Baxter, who appears in 2 of the band's music videos. The lawsuit alleges a wide range of misconduct, unauthorized commercial use of the plaintiff's likeness, unpaid royalties for live performances and record works, misuse of Madison copyright sigil, disparaging statement about Fedorov and Smerda, and unjust enrichment from Baxter's video appearances, and from the plaintiff's involvement in meet and greets. So I've read in other parts that some members complained that their image was has been used, in some reissue of some albums, on meet and greets, on t-shirts and stuff like this. But honestly, this came out as a shock for me, because I was thinking, when you're in a band, when you're part of the band, etc., I thought that the band can still use this thing. So if I'm going to do a reissue of my album and I had your picture, I thought was normal because you were part in my band. It's like, for me, it's like, I don't know, you work for Apple, you engineer the, M1 chip, and then you leave, and then you complain that you're not getting paid because they're using those chips in your product. I don't know, it's a stupid, example, but isn't something like this? I don't know. But good to know, because good that I never use any of my live session musician pictures. And this, if it's true, obviously it's bad, because the sigils that the ex-keyboardist made Obviously, if the sigil was her sigil and she didn't allow the band to use it, or they didn't pay for it, she's right to complain about it. 100%. And about the girl that was in the video, then I can't say anything because, you know, maybe she was in the video and they say, you want to be in the video? Yes, she didn't ask anything, maybe expected something, the band didn't pay her anything, and then she's now complaining. Maybe, maybe not, maybe they promised her something, then they didn't pay. Who knows? These things are always like, you know? And regarding the contracts, honestly, I will say the same thing that I say for Dogma. If it's a bad contract, if they were treated bad, etc., I totally understand, but also you have the power to not sign those contracts. So if you get a contract where it's written, hey, you're getting paid $100 per day plus 5 years to eat, and you sign it for like 10 years, then you're a little bit dumb, you know? And same here. If nobody signs those contracts, at some point they have to rise, you know, the checks if they want to find someone. But if there's people constantly signing it, obviously they take advantage of it. Further claims address withheld financial accounting related to merchandise, recordings, publishing agreements, and paid fan events. Plaintiffs also cite more personal grievances, including the alleged destruction of Fedorov's microphone, the non-return of her in-ear monitors, and unpaid performances fees for what became the couple's final show with the band in August. The collective assert that these actions contribute to professional, financial, and reputation harm. You know, obviously we don't know 100% who's right. We aren't in the band, we don't know things. So it's always hard to take also parts. I took the parts of Dani in the last video simply because if you're complaining about the contract online, but you sign it for 10 years thinking, oh, but things will go good in the future, you know, we are a family. Have you ever worked in a normal company? When the boss tells you, you know, this is our family, we are all family, this is mine as yours. But your paycheck's like 10 times more mine, and if something happens, you fire me without hesitation. So where's the fucking family? So yeah, it's kind of stupid thinking that a company cares about you, because they never care. Also, you know, Paul Allender played in the band from 2000 to 2014. That's 11 years ago. It's a long time ago, you know, to do a lawsuit. So I don't know if everybody's now jumping, you know, to get some money, because at the end it's always that the problem, the fucking money. It's like in Hollywood, you know, one person comes out to being abused and then immediately there's 30 after, and you never know which one is true and which one is not, you know. So whatever, we will see in the future, since I think this thing will continue forever. Before going to the main drama of the day, I wanted to talk with a drama that in my opinion will evolve in a couple of months. Now it's just like rumors here and there, you know, but I know that something will come out sooner or later. And I'm talking obviously of Arch Enemy and the departure of Alissa White from the band after 12 years. No, I actually don't give a shit. I never listened to Arch Enemy, but I want to focus on the statement of both sides. Arch Enemy on their Instagram pages posted, Arch Enemy have parted way with singer Alissa White-Gluz. We're thankful for the time and music we've shared and wish her all the best. Wherever there's an ending, there's also a beginning. See you in 2026. You know, for a person that has been in the band for 12 years, you expect a little bit, you know, more lovely post, like maybe a video, you know, with the best moment, or every of each member says something. I don't know, maybe I'm romanticizing it too much, but it was kind of weird, you know, it was kind of weird. And then we have Alyssa saying, after 12 years in Arch Enemy, we have parted ways. I am forever thankful for the thousands of amazing fans I've met along the way. Thank you, Beastlings. I can't wait to share what I've been working on with you all, with some big surprises in store. Stay tuned for big news in 2026 and see you very soon. Now, do you see something here? She never mentioned the band. She never say, thanks for these 12 amazing years, my lovely Arch Enemy members. Nothing. I'm forever thankful for the thousands of amazing fans. She never mentioned the bands. She never thanks the band. Nothing. There is something going on. What is going on? I don't know. The funny thing is also that she stopped to follow the members. I think she doesn't even follow the band anymore, and they are not following her. So, you know, there is something going on. I've seen so many people saying, oh, bring back Angela, we want Angela. Dude, Angela is 50 years old. And yes, she looks amazing because she trained every fucking single day. She looks awesome, but she's a mom. She's a mom of 2 kids, if I remember correct, and Arch Enemy is a band that tours a lot. You can't pretend a mom with 2 kids to go in fucking tour for months. So yeah, I don't know who will be. Someone say bring back the male singer, you know, the first singer that they had. But I think, you know, they got really famous when they switched to a female singer. So I think that they will continue on that path. Anyways, let's switch to the big events of the day. And it's about the band called Vitriol. If you don't know the band, it's a death metal band from US. Pretty good actually. I discovered the band randomly on YouTube because I was fascinated by the vocalist guitarist face's expression while I was playing the guitar. So what happened, Boris? What happened? Well, everyone in Vitriol quits, abandons band founder at a Vermont gas station. That's what happened, guys. That was happened. Vitriol just announced a brand new lineup earlier this year for its current tour, which is clearly not going well. According to now ex-Vitriol guitarist Keith Merrow, everyone quit the band, including drummer Andy Vincenzetti and bassist Brett Lair, and abandoned Rasmussen at the Vermont gas station. Rasmussen has not yet spoke about the situation. Yes, he did, with a long video on Instagram. But man, Vitriol's former member page is starting to get pretty lengthy. He fucked around and found out. I'll be home for Thanksgiving, baby, wrote Merrow, as captured in a story by Lemgoat. Sorry, Vitriol fans, we had to abandon him at a gas station in Vermont. Myself, Andy, Brett, and Matt will not take Kyle's cowardly and weak outburst of misplaced anger. We gave everything we had and have now left you with nothing. Mass exodus. This was the darkest day of my musical career to date. So, after this, the singer Kyle posted a couple of long videos on Instagram. We can do a quick summary of all the events with one thing: white powder. Or how he called it to not get cancelled on Instagram, beer nose. That, let's say, is the main reason. Then he can talk for 40 minutes and the bands can say, blah, blah. It's the fucking white powder, okay? So according to him, they were going, you know, to cross the border to Canada, and they all took some nose beer. And, you know, at some point he realized that there wasn't too much time, you know, before the next show, and they needed to sleep a little bit. He went to sleep, and the other guys not. And then they started to panic because they were close to the border to Canada, how to hide some things, you know. And yeah, a discussion started, and basically, for my understanding, Kyle suffered of anger issues. So he got one of his moments on the band, and the band, obviously being also on white powder, didn't took it well. No fucking way. I myself, honestly, I never tried that shit. I never tried nothing in my life, and I'm kind of proud of that, you know. But I've talked with a guy that was on that shit, and it was one of the worst interactions I ever had in my life. He couldn't fucking stay calm for a second. He was sitting close to me, talking here to my face, and I wanted just to punch him so bad. So, you know, I imagine 4 people in that situation with one guy having an anger issue. What possibly can go wrong, right? If I'm correct, Kyle also suffered of some kind of mental issue. I've seen a podcast with Garza, the guy from Suicide Silence, and he was talking about taking some pills, or it was for anger, I don't know. But, you know, if you're already taking medical stuff and then you take this thing, dude, it's, I don't know, man. I feel that if you're 20 years old, you're kind of stupid still, but those are all grown-ass men. And Keith Merrow also have a son, and you should kind of be a, I don't know, like a model for your son. Yeah, I don't get it, dude. They're just ruining the band for no reason, you know. And I've seen Keith Merrow selling all his guitars because obviously he's broke now because of the tour. You know, there's so much money lost when you cut a tour in the middle of it, you know. So I think that many bands should find different ways to have fun, you know. Like, video games are fun. Board games also. Board games are a tour bus. Anyways, it's always fun when it doesn't happen to you. I don't want to take part of anybody here's, because in my opinion, it's everybody's fault. When you take that shit and you think, you know, everything will go well. No. Also, Kyle in the video started to cry at some point, and I think, you know, that the guy has some obviously problems and he needs some help. It's just sad, you know, to see it, because there are great bands, and I don't like to see this with bands, you know. I know who actually will enjoy to leave me in a gas station, but fucking bassist. Look at what kind of fucking shit he posts every single day about me. With that said, my friends, we are at the end of this video. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you soon in the next one. Cheers!
Satan.